All right, now that we're talking college football, let's head to the campus, Bloomington, Indiana, where we find Stanford Steve ahead of college game day tomorrow. Big one for the Hoosiers, welcoming Washington into town. Steve, is Indiana now a football school?
Last night it was, I'll tell you that. We'll see about Saturday, but Thursday night down there, it was very much a football town.
Well, we know in Baton Rouge and in College Station, those are football programs. Steve, Joe touched on it earlier. The money has been coming on LSU in this SEC matchup. Do you agree with it?
It's funny. I've been hemming and hawing, going back and forth all week. When you look at that matchup, I would say yeah, because people are going to bet the quarterback, right? But when you look at this matchup, what I love about it is LSU's offensive line against Texas A&M's defensive line. LSU's O-line, bookend tackles, Will Campbell, Emory Jones, fantastic. Have gotten better all year. But this Texas A&M defensive line, being there at the beginning of the season, talking to Mike Elko, he's the only coach I talked to in America that was not worried about the depth of his defensive line. And boy, have they showed out during this win streak. Scoring 11 right there. You see him has been dominant, a transfer from Purdue, and then the two Shamars in the middle. Fantastic matchup. I wonder if the 12th man will be the difference.
So this all comes down to Connor Wegman, the quarterback at A&M. He's had some really good performances. He's had some really shaky performances. If he has a good performance in that atmosphere Saturday night, A&M's covering. And you can get A&M at a great price right now because they were laying 3.5 at the open, and now it's down around 1. However, I would look to LSU here. It'd be a smaller bet at 1. Might as well just go money line for a couple key reasons. Number one, Nussmeier, quarterback at LSU, who Steve just talked about, against cover 3. He's had a lot of success this season. That's what Mike Elko likes to deploy in the secondary. Number 2, LSU got the running game going in recent weeks. And on top of that, the LSU defense has been playing better and better as the season's gone on under their new defensive coordinator. Gave up only 26 to that Ole Miss offense a few weeks ago. I look at LSU here. Smaller bet, though, at right around the money line.
All right, Steve, another game we have this weekend. Big test for Navy taking on Notre Dame. Now, the midshipmen, a big home dog, and that's attracting a lot of attention from the public. About 3/4 of the bets on Navy plus all these points. Do you think they can hang?
I do. I do feel like I'm an island, and it makes sense now with those numbers because I like Notre Dame. When you go back and watch them against Georgia Tech does a lot of stuff pre-snap and try to confuse you, give you eye candy, different formations, motions, shifts. Notre Dame was excellent against all that. But now it's about assignment football. And Notre Dame has the athletes. They've lost guys on the defensive side, but they are still playing great on that side. The one thing I wonder about in this game is if Navy gets the lead, do they divert to old times and play keep away from Notre Dame? When we talk about limiting possessions, knowing that Notre Dame's not this explosive offense, but Navy's played one good offense this year, and that's Memphis, and Navy beat them 56-44. Big spot, big chance for Riley Leonard to get in good with that Notre Dame fan base.
That's one of the reasons some people like the over, some people like the first half over. Beware the public dog here. It feels like the public has fallen in love with Navy. We'll probably see this in a few weeks when Notre Dame plays Army. Remember, this game's at MetLife Stadium, which might be a home game for Navy, but it's probably going to be about 50,000 Irish fans there. Navy's 6-0, but the combined record of the opposition this season, 16-26. Steve mentioned it. Memphis was the only team they played that has a winning record.